unless your name is Nani Tibi, who's now coming into the Rabbi study. Welcome, welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Tibi is not, it's an understatement to say he's not a stranger to TCS. In fact, he's been around TCS longer than most of us, with a few exception of those of you who started this congregation. Tibi came soon thereafter. Most of us, of course, call him just simply Tibi. Many people don't realize that that's actually his last name, but it's true. It is. We talk about what really brings people here to TCS, and the word that we often talk about is community. And Tibi has really, throughout the years, brought tremendous community to us through his passion for teaching, his love of dance and singing, and in the most recent years, together with Asya, whose last name is also Tibi, by the way. I know they call her Tibi too, or Mrs. Tibi on the license plate. I know, but you're not Mrs. But together with Asya, has now really brought us together through their delicious culinary delights and Shabbat meals and Friday nights, every Shabbat lunch, almost every single week. And in many ways, we could say that it was really the Tibis who were instrumental in bringing back our community after COVID. When we needed to get people back in the building again, one of the ways that we did it when it was safe to do it was through food. And we did it even oftentimes outside or wherever it may be, just to try to get people to come back again. And they continue to do so each and every week. When I told the story, a few weeks back, that when I first came to the synagogue for my first interview, it was actually Beth Rand who told me that, if you really want to understand TCS and you really want to make yourself, want to establish yourself here, you have to know this guy. This is the one you have to know to really understand what TCS is all about. And so I took her advice. At least I tried, anyway. So in any case, let's get started. Are you ready? Okay. This is called a microphone. And this can be yours. Yeah. There we go. So watch out. I've always been nervous about having Tibi in the study because you never know what he's gonna say. But we'll see how it goes. Tibi, tell us a little bit about your early years, your childhood, where you were born, where you grew up, what it was like in those early years of your life.
Okay.
Please.
I was born in Beersheba. Everybody can you hear me? Or do I need to go like this?
Go a little closer if you can.
Okay. I was born in Beersheba.
Just the south of Israel.
Yes, it's like not really. We call it the yeah. It's the top of the desert or the capital of the desert. That's what they call it, or the capital of the Negev. Anyway, at that time it was desert. Today it's one of the prettiest cities in Israel. But those days, if I opened the window, all I would see are like dusts, like little tornadoes that all over the place. And they made me have a hard time breathing from all the dust and so on. So when I was 2 years old, doctor said to my mom, you better move up north, like we're next to the beach, he'll be breathing a lot better. And sure enough, we moved into a shack on the beach of Netanya, above the beach of Netanya, and that's where I grew up most of my
Spoke a few languages as a child, yeah? Three languages.
Yeah. Well, it was tough. Mom and dad spoke only French. Grandma, who was babysitting me most of the time, spoke only Arabic with her sister. And my friends and cousins spoke Hebrew. So when I was 2 years old, my uncle used to take me around just to show off. Look at that kid. He speaks three languages. Look at that kid. Okay. I don't remember much of my Arabic. I'm practicing now, so I won't get Alzheimer's. And my French is still okay. So now I have a new one. English, yeah. Where was I?
Languages growing up. I mean, take us into high school a little bit in terms of
jumping on.
Yeah,
Okay.
unless you have more things to say. Why don't we jump into high school?
Okay, jump past it.
Yeah. Tell us, you went to a couple of different high schools, right?
Yeah.
High school, and tell us about that.
Okay. Everybody knows I'm dyslexic, right? So, except for a few people who up there knew that I could do things and I can learn, but I had some dyslexia problems. So the psychologist of our school suggested I would go to a special school that specialized in agriculture. And sure enough, I went there for the first 2 years of my high school, and I learned to milk cows, to work on tractors. That was my favorite, and to fix them and so on. But then I realized that if I grow up, what am I going to do? I finished high school at the agriculture school. I'm not from a kibbutz or a moshav. I will never be able to use what I'm learning here. And one of my desires I always was involved with, because those magazines that I used to read and so on, was electronics. So I joined the Air Force Academy up in Haifa and studied micromechanics and electronics to become a technician that fixes fighter planes. My expertise was automatic pilots and all the instruments that the pilots see.
Was it during that time you also started to play the guitar and learn music as well?
Yeah. But the guitar, well, I was I told you, everybody thought I was smart, and the kids thought I was a smart know-it-all. So they beat on me and tease me and so on. So I always found a place to hide. And at the high school, which was at the Carmel, I found a cave. And I always wanted to play the guitar because I was singing all the time even before. And I asked Dad, I want a guitar. He said, if your grades will be good, I'll buy you a guitar. And I worked really hard. I got the grades, and he gave me the guitar. And I took the guitar, and I would play in my cave. Me and the guitar, and then I found a dog who came and sat with me and so on. That was like my escape. But then my grades went down. Dad took my guitar, but I found my friends with guitars, and I would switch, and I kept on playing. My grades come up again. I got the guitar back, and so on.
So, you mentioned your father, who's thank God still alive, and
he's in hospital today. I'm sorry.
Right, and so we're certainly praying for his good health.
Thank you.
Recent years, you did lose your mom.
Mm-hmm.
And tell us a little bit about the impact that she had on your life, and cooking a little bit. I think she taught you a little bit about cooking, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah. Isn't that where you learned some of those skills? Yeah.
You might say so.
Yeah.
When I was 5 years old, I had to watch over my 3-year-old brother when mom worked. So she would, for example, put bean dish. So the beans and onions. You had that dish here a few times.
He was Tunisian, right?
Yes, both my parents they used to be neighbors in the city of Tunis. And he used to walk her to the school and so on, and history. Anyway, so she would say, watch over that thing, keep the fire low, and so on. And I remember one day, many days, when my dad comes for dinner, and she would dish it, and he would say in Arabic, mashush, which means it lacks salt. Again and again. So one day I decided Dad is not going to say mashush anymore. And I took a fistful of salt and put it in the dish. And Dad comes in.
Too much salt. Yeah.
So that's my skills.
Very nice. So you then moved into the army, of course. Everyone serves in the army in Israel, hopefully, for the most part.
That was
Tell us about that. You took some of those skills from high school, fixing planes, and you went.
Yeah, that's right into a lab. Unfortunately, 7 days after I joined, and they were interviewing me, which lab to put me in, whether I want to be a pilot and I said, no, I want to do what I studied. And the day before I was supposed to go in, Yom Kippur War had started.
1973.
1973, October 7th. Same day. Here it was 6. I was there, and I go to the base. They don't know what to do with me. They're in the middle of the war. They didn't have a room for me. Nothing. Just walk in. What am I going to do? They send me to the lab. And, okay, you know what? Take that broom and start cleaning here, clean the bathroom, clean this. And I slept under the table with the lab where we were supposed to fix the equipment. And then I had to learn to clean the yards and then pick up the garbage and throw it in the dumpsters, everything else. And I said, my friends are dying. And I'm doing this. This is my army. Until my general had smacked me over the head and said, you idiot, you're doing it so they can do this. I said, okay, I survived. So
a few years later, you had some interesting interactions that then led to you coming to America, right? You're ultimately moving to America in the early 1980s, right, after the Army. Tell us a little bit about, how that came to be. How did you actually find yourself in the United States?
I discovered during the Army that I can teach. The last year of my service, they asked me, I joined the same school that I went to and became a professor there, a teacher there. And after I finished my service, I decided to teach. But at that time, I was teaching dance. I was always into dance. And a friend of mine comes to me, Tibi, we want you in this dance company. Tibi, we want you in this dance company. Okay, I joined that dance company. And like a month later, we traveled to Germany. And to make a living, I became a lifeguard in a swimming pool. So you go and dance over there, and then I met a rabbi.
Did you wear those pants in the swimming pool?
No, I wore a Speedo.
Oh.
Red one.
Okay. Now it's called TMI. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Anyway, so I met a rabbi from New York. His name was Rabbi Spar. He just died last year. And he was a very special rabbi, and he moved me a lot because he was a rabbi who believed in mitzvot ta'aseh, I suppose, more than mitzvot al ta'aseh. He did more than did not do.
The mitzvot that you should do, but as opposed to the mitzvot that you shouldn't do.
Like he would eat not kosher food. won't advertise it, but I caught him doing it. On the other hand, he was very involved in freeing the Jews from Russia. He was very involved in going and visiting the sick. Every Wednesday he was at the sick, at the hospital. He did for his community. He always did something good. That's what he believed in. So he said, I want to do something good for my synagogue. I want you to be my youth director. I said, I can't. I'm going to Paris this year. Come to me next summer. He comes the next summer. I need you to be my youth director. I said, I can't. I'm going to Germany. And I was traveling. I was in very famous dance companies, and that was kind of. And I went one day. Finally, he came right after I came back from Paris. He said, I need you next week. Sure enough, within 1 week, he got my visa, a special artist visa, and so on, and I became a youth director for his synagogue. I had 250 kids. I had 4 staff with me, and we did okay. I did not like it. My English sucked. Sorry. And I couldn't get used to the mentality of American kids. It wasn't there for me yet. And parents were like supporting kids with pots and so on. So I said, enough. I met my ex-wife and we decided that I would stay until I finish my education, and then we'll go back to Israel. So I went to a dance school, one of the best ones in the country. I don't know how I got there, because after the first lesson, I was the big shot dancer in Israel. They blew my bubble. I was the worst dancer in that school, because they all started when they were 4 years old. I started at 24. Yeah, their second position. That's my second position.
You went to dance school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then what? You also still were involved in synagogues a little bit.
Yeah, of course. I had to pay for the school somehow, so I found synagogue.
You couldn't stand the kids. You kept on teaching.
Oh no, it was just those kids. It was those from Long Island.
Just the Long Island.
Sorry, once I moved, I swear to God.
Yeah.
Once I moved to here, it was totally different. Different mentality. What is it? A different country? What's going on here?
You went first to Westchester, right?
Yeah, to a synagogue at Portchester, and I loved it. The kids loved it. I loved it. We had so much fun. We did shows. We played. We danced. Until I moved.
Then you came to Connecticut. How'd you come to Connecticut and Westport? How'd you find yourself in TCS?
Well, because we moved to Connecticut, my wife then found a job in Bridgeport, so I found a place in Stamford. I had to find a place in Stamford because when I was in college and I could not afford it, I bought a camper. I parked the camper on campus and lived there until one day the security guard over there said, you can't do that. You have to move. So I had to find a place in Stamford, sold the camper, and found a place, looked for a place that I don't have to drive all the way to Westchester every day. And I came to here, to Baskin Robbins.
Yeah. Renee Baskin Robbins is where it all started. And what was your first job here?
7th graders.
7th grade?
7th graders plus music to 5, 6, and 7.
The little one.
No, 5th, 6, and 7th grade.
5th, 6th,
yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. Oh, and then I was also in charge of special events, like round robins for Hanukkah, plays for Purim, all kinds of stuff that we had to do. By the way, we have here people that I know even before DCS. Some people here were working with me in White Plains, even before Portchester. and some people here even signed my ketubah.
Tassia.
Yeah.
Very nice. So over the years, you've seen many education principals and directors come and go, cantors come and go, rabbis come and go, right? You've had office staff come and go, facility staffs come and go, right? But somehow Tibi's still here, right?
Like a pimple, you can't get rid of.
Right? So how, first of all, why? Why are you still here? What,
It's a very easy
what do you
question.
love? What attracts you to this community? Why is it that you love being here so much? And, and what keeps you?
If I will go with all the names that you just said, principals, directors, rabbis, cantors, if I had to decide who made me stay, none of those. It's you guys. Seriously. So many people, directors tried to fire me. I wanted to quit 5 times. He convinced me not to quit. Another rabbi convinced me not to quit. You guys are the reason I'm still here. Your kids, those kids who have kids now here, who used to be my kids 30 years ago. That's the reason I'm here. And I'm having every moment fun with this.
Well, we love you, and that's why we're here tonight, obviously, to express our love for you. And of course, anyone who comes into the Rabbi study, we have Marshall Levin here, who's our first victim, who helped create this concept, and Dan Gross has been inside the Rabbi study, and he's here tonight. And they'll tell you that at the end we have to ask you some speed round questions.
Okay.
Right? So are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. All right. Tibi, what is your favorite city in Israel?
Netanya.
That's where you're from. Yeah.
That's where I grew up. And
Home. Falafel or shawarma? I have to ask.
shawarma.
Okay. Best Israeli singer of all time?
Arik Einstein.
Blessed memory. Your favorite word in Hebrew?
Ahava.
Ahava.
And you know why Ahava starts with the letter Aleph? Because you first love Ani. You first love yourself. And if you love yourself, you love everybody.
Very nice. The best beach in Israel?
My wife will tell you. It's called Chavatzelet.
Yeah.
Very small, rocky place, a little north of Netanya. In fact, this is where the shack that I lived when I moved into Netanya. Small, secluded, not many people in there. Loved every minute there.
Very nice. Speaking of Asya, we just want to say shalom to Asya. And also to Asya's mother, shalom le'ima shel Asya, brucha ba'a, Shabbat shalom as well. Okay, she's come from Israel, brucha ba'a.
You have to really appreciate it. She's been sitting here for almost 2 hours, not understanding a word.
Yeah,
So you have to appreciate that.
very nice. She's now telling her what she's
It's okay.
very nice. Asya, you ready to answer a question? I have a question for you. Here, take the microphone. You're putting on the spot. This is fully on the spot, okay? Tell us one thing about Tibi that we would never know. Something that we'd be shocked to know, or be really surprised to know about Asya. About Tibi. Got something? Something he likes to do, something that, it could be a hobby. It could be something that something that would surprise you.
Showing me that
Yeah, something.
snoring.
Well, that wouldn't be so surprising. That was necessary. You got one? Putting you on the spot. No? Okay. Well, what do you love most about Tibi?
Understanding probably.
His understanding.
Yeah,
So
patient and understanding. Because
that's beautiful. Thank you. Okay.
There's a wife for you.
All right, a couple more, and then we'll sing a song. Debbie wants to end with a song. A couple more questions. If you could spend 1 hour in Israel, how would you spend it? What would you do during that hour?
Under the water, snorkeling or scuba diving.
That's where you're at your happiest, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Underwater.
Like I'm born again.
Yeah.
Literally.
With the Speedo? Oh, never mind. No, if you could interview one character in the Bible, who would it be? The Torah, Tanakh,
Right now, Isaiah.
Okay, I have to ask why. Just because of everything that's happening?
Because he promised something. Where is it?
All right. Final question. If you could find God to ask one question, what would the question be?
Yeah. Really?
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Tibi. There's a song that Tibi wanted to share with everyone. The words are, as you enter, they're in a little basket if you want to grab it, if you didn't grab it yet. It's called Keren Shemesh.
It wasn't written for that reason, but when I read the words, it gives me hope. And hopefully...
A ray of sunlight is how you translate.
Yeah. Keren Shemesh. Now, it took me, I was working all week long on this song. I never played this instrument before in my life, so forgive me.
Can you spell it?
Ukulele, I guess.
Okay, just checking.
Just to say uke. Anyway, I've been working on this song for so long. I mean, the whole week, I was singing it again and again and again. And today, I said, I'll practice here. And that's why. So, cut break. אל תלכי, קרן שמש, לא נגמר לנו היום. למה מסתתרת עננים בכל מקום? אל תבכי, כמו הגשם, לא חבל על הדמעות. יד חמה מבקשת לחזק אותך שעות. עשי שירים שאת אוהבת, אתן לך יום להירגע. אני נגנב כשאת צוחקת ככה אליי. אני כמעט מבקשת שלא יהיה לי שום תירוץ, שאין מילים את מתרגשת ככה אליי. תחייכי, זה יפה לך, זה עושה לי את היום. אם פתאום את תגמר, תחייכי גם אחרון. שירים שאת אוהבת, תן לך יום להירגע. אין מילים את מתרגשת ככה אליי. ואת מבקשת שלא יהיה לי שום תירוץ, שאין מילים את מתרגשת ככה אליי. אל תבכי, קרן שמש, תהי לך בית אחרון. איך תמיד את
מתרגש עם אור ראשון, עם שירים שאת אוהבת. אתן לך יום להירגע, אני נגנב כשאת צוחקת ככה אליי. תגידי מה את מבקשת, שלא יהיה לי שום תירוץ, כשמילים את מתרגשת ככה אליי.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right. Thank you, Tibi. We look forward to keep singing. What's that? Go back to the kitchen now. Okay.